Hey guys, I often get asked this question from people when I speak about conflict resolution. How do I pick my battles? And when I hear that question, what I really hear is someone who is struggling to get to resolution in a relationship that matters. And so in this video, I would like to share with you some tips on how to decide whether or not you're going to come into an engagement or a conversation, and maybe shift the perspective from picking a battle, because a battle is about win and lose, control, I'm right, you're wrong, and to shift those words from choosing your battle to choosing your approach towards resolution. Hi guys, my name is Tammy, and I am your guide to mastering courageous conversation so that you can have a career and relationship where you feel respected, appreciated, and empowered. Listen, I don't want you to have to go to work feeling like every day you need to be entering into battle with somebody just to feel like you are seen. That's not the goal. Today's video is really to help you find out when should I be speaking up and when should I be letting go. So I'm going to give you some hot tips, as I always call them, to help you make that decision for yourself. Now, the reality is conflict is always there for us. There are many opportunities within a day for us to exercise our decision making as to whether or not we're going to enter into a battle and accept the invitation to a conversation. But the question is, do you need to accept every invitation and attend every fight that you have been invited to? And the answer is no. And this is why this question gets asked a lot, is because people are struggling to get resolution, and in the process, things are becoming worse. Relationships are eroding and tensions are rising. So to help you determine whether or not this conversation is one that you need to engage in, and to help you decide your approach as opposed to whether or not you're coming into battle with whoosh, sword, shield, dun, 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 doo, 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 then I want you to consider these as an opportunity to practice conversational art of conflict resolution. So instead of choosing your battle, I want you to consider, how do I choose my approach to resolve conflict faster with this person? All right, so let's get into it. The first question you want to be asking yourself is this: is this my battle? Now, I know this can be a confusing question because we can feel like when our family members or our best friend has been slighted that we need to come to their aid. And so it feels like it's our battle by proxy, because what happens to them happens to us. But this is the first question to start with. Is this my battle? And I can share from experience, I have had many moments where I have taken on somebody else's battle as my own, and it creates an even higher tension point that it was not worth the outcome for me in the workplace. So I had to choose and learn to choose which battles were mine first before I went on to the next stage. Now, when it comes to question number one, is this my battle, yes or no? This often is accompanied with another question I get: how do I care less? There are people who are just feeling this emotional burden for caring so much about others that they're willing to work harder and speak up louder for them on their behalf, but they don't see that change in the person. And so they start to wonder, God, how do I care less? Because they don't care enough. And so this might help you determine where you can let go of caring for another person's best scenario when you don't own the problem. So if question number one, it's not your problem, it's not your battle. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. It's not your battle. That might help you go, okay, not my monkeys, not my zoo. I don't have any ownership in this. They have to figure out their relationship for themselves. Now, if it's not your battle, recognize you may still want to come in, but ask yourself, question number two, what is my role? Now, your role is going to help determine how you approach things. If you are the supporting person, it may be better to help coach them understand what they want, what their ideal resolution would be before you charge in there on their behalf. Now, if this was your battle and you said, yes, this is my battle directly, you still want to know your role. If this is in a workplace and you're the employee and a supervisor, that's going to inform how you move forward, what options are available to you. And they will be different if it's a boss or if it's a colleague or if it's a customer. So know your role in this conversation. Now let me know below in the comments below if you have been like me, where you have taken on the battle for somebody, taken up their cause because you felt that they needed that extra support, or you were that voice for them. Curious to know what those situations were and how that worked out for you. Now let's get into the next 3 tips. So now that we know whether it's our battle or not our battle and what our role is inside of this, the next 3 questions are going to help you to determine if you're going to really get involved. Question number 3 is this a relationship of substance? So the person that you're in battle with, does this relationship that you have with them matter? Are they in your life for the long haul? This might be a colleague you work with closely. This might be a family member. This could be a stranger who passed you on the street and made a comment that you didn't like. How important is this relationship for you in order to decide you're going to come into this battle? The 4th question is, how important is the issue? Now, sometimes we can have a first flash of real heated emotion when something happens. And then if we sit with it for a while, we go, okay, maybe I overreacted there. I don't know what was going on with me, but man, that just seemed to hit really hard in that moment. And it actually doesn't matter. Like, we're able to put things into context, step back out of that emotional reaction, and decide that the issue doesn't actually matter. It could be something different, but that particular thing, water under the bridge. Whereas had you reacted in the moment, boom, big escalation of a problem. So once we know that the person, the relationship matters, we then ask, does the topic, the context matter? And then the 3rd thing is, what are your goals? I guess that's the 5th one, isn't it? The 5th one is, what are your goals for accepting the invitation to this battle? All right, so a quick summary for you. We had our 5 steps. The first 2 really help you to identify who you are in this battle. Question number 1, is this my battle directly? Question number 2, what is my role in this situation? This is going to help set the foundation as to whether or not you jump into this conversation or not. Now, the last 3 questions help you identify why it's important for you. And this, again, is so important because it gives you rich data to help you identify how you will approach the battle. So question 3 was, how important is this relationship to me? Question 4 was, how important is the topic that we're talking about? And then question number 5 is, what are my goals? Should I accept the invitation to this battle? Now, to help you with your approach, when you determine that this is something you want to bring up, you've figured out what the value point is, why this matters to you, I want to support you in starting the conversation to decrease the defensive reaction and increase the chance you have a healthy conversation. Down below, you'll see that there's a link for 10 safe conversation starters. These will address 10 of the most offensive behaviors that we see in the workplace. So sarcastic remarks, passive aggressive, sabotage, backstabbing, those things that you typically see in a workplace. There is a scripted response that you can use to address it, to identify it, to open up a conversation. Now let's just get honest for a moment. There's a lot of people out there who need this stuff. So I don't want you to keep this to yourself, okay? I want you to share this with your friends. Share this video with them, tag them, let them know that there are resources here, real resources for real problems, to help them make the decisions that are going to support their goals the best. Will you promise me to do that? Because together we can make this world better. And I'm on a mission to change the way relationship is done, one conversation at a time. But I need your help. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and drop a comment below. I do read them all and I do respond, and I can't wait to hear from you. And remember, you are only one conversation away.